Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Avery. I'm 24 years old and I live in the Midwest. I make videos about personal finance and budgeting, so if that's something that interests you, feel free to subscribe. So in today's video, I will be budgeting my second paycheck of June. I am a bit late on posting this video, and I'm also just a bit MIA in general on YouTube, it feels like, simply because June has been a pretty crazy month for me. And actually in the past week I had lost power at my apartment for 3 whole days. So yeah, 3 days I did not have any power, so no electric and no internet in my apartment, so I couldn't film these videos. I've just had this idea in my head on how the month of June was going to go, and so far it's not been going like that at all. So losing power for that long really impacted just my schedule and my routine. So hopefully everyone can forgive me, and I can forgive myself for not having this video out as soon as I wanted to have it out. What happened with the power was there was a storm that hit my city, and it honestly had not even hit where I live, so I kind of thought I was in the clear. But then the next day, our electric provider, who is the main provider for the entire city, they decided to cut the power supply to preserve the grid. So I think it was about 20% of the customers, so over 200,000 customers willfully had their power shut off by the electric company, and I happened to be one of those. And even though I was not hit by the storm, I was also one of the last people to have my power turned back on. Very frustrating experience for many people, including myself. I had to take all of my food over to my boyfriend's house, which I am grateful I was able to do that. Not everyone is as lucky as I am, I guess, in that sense, because a lot of people lost like hundreds of dollars of food, and during this time, this inflationary time, that is a terrible situation to have to find yourself in. So it's been a pretty rough couple days for my community, but let me go ahead and just move past that, and let's talk about the budgeting in this video. So I have $1,659 that I need to budget. I worked overtime at my full-time job, and I worked at the bakery a little bit. I used to have a job at a restaurant. I quit that. I'm loving not having to work there. I think it was a great decision to not put all of my time into working all the time. So I'm really enjoying having my weekends more flexible and more free, and not having to spend it in a restaurant. And I was really grateful to have it this past week, like not have to work there, because I think I would have probably lost my damn mind if the week that I had work wise and the week that I had just dealing with all of these utility issues would have really done a number. It already did a number on my mood. So having to go work at a hot, sweaty restaurant. Oh yes, I forgot to mention, it's been 100 degrees all week in my state, so it's been a lot. They cut the power supply when it was the hottest week of the year, so no AC on the hottest week of the year. It was about 85 degrees in my apartment. Okay, anyways, so I do have money I need to budget. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do something different. I'm going to go to my vacation category. I'm currently saving to go to New York City. I actually, as you can tell here, I actually made a purchase, a very large purchase, which was for the plane tickets and housing, lodging, hotel. The hotel stay, which is 5 nights, and we're supposed to be about a 10-minute walk from Central Park. So I'm in Manhattan. I've never been to New York City, but when I booked this through Amex Travel, and they were giving a lot more expensive options, but I obviously did not want to pay that much, but I didn't want to pay this much either. All that to be said, I depleted my basically depleted this category, and I still need money to actually do things in New York City. So my current idea is to put $270.73 into there and bring that up to $650. And I'll continue to assess this as I get closer to the end of August when I'm going to take the trip. And if I decide I need even more money in here, I will try to put more money in there. But for now, I think that's what we're going to go for. So I have $13.88 left to assign. I'm going to go ahead and put $16.50 into my Roth IRA simply because I had made a transfer to my Roth IRA earlier in the week when I thought I was going to be filming the video like the next day, but obviously that did not work out, so I still need to account for this and update it in my budget and in my transactions. So $16.50. I've been struggling keeping up with my budget lately. It's just been so chaotic just for like so many different reasons, and I've just been spending money without like a care recently, and I feel like I need to get back on top of like thinking about my spending before I spend. But it's just this last week I'm just trying to cut myself some slack and just hopefully just be better at it in the future. But yeah, $16.50 towards the Roth IRA. Then we're gonna go ahead and go into August, and because I have everything funded for the month of July, so I don't really need to do anything for this month unless I decide to adjust it a little bit. So I'm not going to do anything right now. I get a third paycheck in June, just the way the pay dates have lined up. So I'm just going to maybe consider it then. But in August, I'm underfunded by $1,896.10. And I'm going to go ahead and put what I like to do, which is $416.50 into my rent category. And then I need to get this up to, I'm trying to cover about half of these expenses with this paycheck, so I need to get about $950 total of my August expenses covered. So if we take $950 and subtract out $416.50, I'm trying to do about $533.50. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just do some of the other categories. I could do the entirety of rent, but I just don't feel like it. So let's do laundry, let's do household, let's do electric, gas, internet, and my phone bill. Let's do transportation. So my transportation category, I mentioned this in the last video, but I've increased it to $125. I don't know if that's enough. I'm trying to see how the whole month of June goes, but I used to have it at $80, so as you can tell, gas is really just gnawing at me lately, but okay. $69.28 for car insurance, $40 for auto maintenance, $11.73 for subscriptions, $15 for stuff I forgot to budget for. Of course, it just took away everything I had already clicked on, so let me click on those again. Yeah, so I probably will be adjusting my budget into the future, but I'm just not quite sure yet how I'm going to do all of that or in what way. I just try to keep on top of these things the best that I can and try to anticipate my expenses when they change, but it's kind of just the way everything is nowadays. You can't really, you just try your best, I guess. So let's do all of those, and I'll hit the underfunded button and it'll fund all of that. And I've assigned $870.32 in August, so I still need to get up to $950, and I'm probably just going to put the rest into my Roth IRA. I've been spending a lot of money in the month of June, like more than I probably should do. And obviously I had like planned expenses, like or semi-planned expenses, like my vacation category, but everything, just other things. Like when I had to go to my boyfriend's house, even though I brought all my food, I just mentally did not feel like cooking, so I ate out a lot. I went out to eat a lot for that week. Just stuff like that. So I'm already kind of completely tossed out of my what's the word, my dining out category for June. I'm literally at $0, and I'm kind of wondering, maybe at least for the summer months, if I should be adjusting my groceries and dining out targets to make dining out more expensive. Like maybe flip them, see if dining out at $175 and groceries at $125 a month would be more suitable for what I spend during the summer months. So maybe in my next video I'll consider that, but I'm still kind of just like on the fence with it. I just feel like summertime is a more social time for me, so I obviously will spend more money, I guess, just eating out and being with friends during the summer months. So it might be a good idea to have that reflected in my budget so I can do a little less like whack-a-moling or just like rolling with the punches. So I have $421.77 left to do. I'm trying to think if that's correct. I guess it is. Okay, yeah, I didn't know if I got my math right or not. So I need to put $33.50 into my future moving fund. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm up to $201 in there. This used to be my rent holding category, but I've covered everything I need for that. And next year the plan is to move in with my boyfriend, so wherever we move I'll probably need money for it, even if I don't need to buy that much stuff. I don't know. Now let's go ahead and do 150. I have $388.27 remaining in my ready to assign. My current focus right now is my emergency fund and my student loans, technically. So $150 into the emergency fund brings me up to $2,550. I'm hoping to get this up to about $3,000 and then stopping for now. This is basically just an extra buffer category for my true expenses. So as you can tell, if I go down to medical, that's like a true expense for me, trying to keep up with my medical expenses. I have some routine medical expenses, and then also I just would like to, at least in the future, get to a point where I have my medical deductible saved at all times. And in the future, like really far out there for me, if I could get my, what's it called? If I could get I'm blinking here. Oh, my out-of-pocket max covered as well, which obviously is pretty nebulous depending on your plan each year. Like right now, my out-of-pocket max is $1,000 and my deductible is $500. But if I went on to my own plan, I'm currently on my dad's. If I went on to my own plan, it would be higher than that. So in the future, I'd probably need an even higher savings goal for that. But that's just something to keep in mind. So in the meantime, if something were to happen and I needed money for it, I would take money from the emergency fund. Auto maintenance is another similar category to that. So I'm at $444.38. I have this note here that I'd like to stop at $500. I'm probably not going to. I should probably update that. But same thing. If I have an auto expense that's more than $500, I would just take money from the emergency fund. So just trying to make that area a little more flexible. And then I want to do my student loans. I have $3,750 saved for them. My student loans are currently in forbearance. I will be making a payment right before the interest-free forbearance period ends. So that's currently, what, September 1st? August 31st? August 30th? It's something along those days. I'll have to double check. But I'm just trying to save as much money as I can without losing my sanity towards that. So that's why I'm at $3,750. It would be really nice to get this up to $4,000 this time around, but I just don't have enough money for that. So let's put $150 in there. So it'll be up to $3,900, and then maybe with the next paycheck I can bring it over $4,000. I have $88.27 remaining. I'm going to put $50 into health, beauty, and clothing, and then I'm going to put $38.27. I'm not really sure. I made a new category called the Avery Improvement Fund, and it's a very very flexible category for me. It's almost like a holding category for, like, I don't know where to put it. Like, if I'm not sure if I want to put money in fun money or short trips, any of those, like, more, like, recreational categories, I have decided to just put it in the Avery Improvement Fund. Household is like another example of that. Like, as I've used the household category more, in my head I had first created it for like decoration, but now I kind of just use it for like household goods like toilet paper, paper towels, cleaning supplies. So Avery Improvement Fund for this month so far has just been for buying like artwork that I like. So, but in the future it could be something different. Like, if I want to buy a yoga class, this could come from there. As you can tell, I have a note. It says plants, yoga, etc. Just things I'm just giving myself permission to spend money on things that are not necessarily the most important to me on like a weekly basis. It just comes and it goes. So, 38.27 into that category, and I now have everything funded. Looking forward into the future, I'm going to make my May wrap-up video. I know it's basically July, but I just didn't get a chance to film it with everything going on, and I was just being lazy at the early beginning of the month, which it happens. So I'm just really late on that, but I'm going to do a May spending wrap-up, and I'm also going to include my net worth update for May in that video. And then in July, since the end of June will be officially through the middle of the year, at the end of June, I'm going to do a financial goals checking in on my goals for my student loans, my Roth IRA, and my emergency fund, and some others too. I'm going to have to go back and look at all the goals I've made to make sure I'm not missing any, but I want to do an update video on that to see how my progress is going. So stay tuned for that as well. And of course, more Budget With Me videos, power willing, electric company willing, internet company willing. I will be making videos on that as well. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Otherwise, I hope you all are having a great month. I hope, I hope everyone's having a great month. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye now.